And I am Zayna Allen, and welcome to Bold Life. We have a great show for you today. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. We want to know what you think. Now that the weather is starting to break, times of fun in the sun are among us. For our first segment, we'll be discussing drinks in the Big Apple. I'm happy to welcome bar influencer MDFK Andi, NYC celebrity bartender Yancy Violi, and beverage consultant Deena Sayers. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it also just so happens to be World Whiskey Day today. So to accompany us with our conversation are drinks from Ardbeg Whiskey, Four Roses Bourbon, and Peaky Blinder. Andi, you are having an Ardbeg Long Isla. You can take a sip if you want.
All right.
He's been waiting for that.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, well, you want to cheers?
Sorry.
Yancy, you're having a Blinder Sour, and Deena, you're having a Four Roses Classic Manhattan.
Oh, it's all good. It's just whiskey. It's all good.
All right, so they taste great. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're enjoying them.
Alcohol in it, of course.
It's alcohol. It's great. That's all that matters. All right, so tell me, Andi, Yancy, and Deena, what are your favorite bars in New York? We can start with you, Andi.
So two of my favorite bars in New York are located in Upper East Side and one in Midtown.
Okay.
That one from Upper East Side is because it's really nice vibe, and it's a speakeasy bar though.
Okay.
So actually, it's an ice cream shop. You get in. If you want to get in the bar, you have to say the password, which is.
What is the password?
Whisper
it. We got it. You can't say it out loud.
Yeah. So you have to talk with the ice cream scooper.
Okay, cool.
I want to be volunteer for the storage room. Wow. There's a password to get in the bar. Yeah, and after you say that, he's gonna drive you to the secret door. You're gonna open the door. You're gonna get in the bar, like in the prohibition sign. It's amazing.
Oh my god!
Everything is like transforming over there.
That is exciting!
Yeah,
wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I googled it and I saw that it's an ice cream shop and a speakeasy. I thought that was so cool. I've never been to a speakeasy before. I see it on movies where you knock on the door and they're like, what's the password? So now I'm really excited now to go. So, and then you said your second spot would be?
The second one is in Midtown because I work over there as well. So every time after work, I hanging out around Midtown. Mm-hmm. So I think the Tanner Smith, which is
the Tanner Smith,
on 53rd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like that bar because of the atmosphere, because of the ambience, because of the service on point.
Yeah.
Cocktails are amazing as well.
Right.
This is my second one on the list.
Okay, cool. All right, so Yancy, what are yours?
I guess the first one would have to be Osamil upstairs because there's two. I think my favorite thing about it, obviously, is the guy who's leading the bar program, Jello. He's one of my good friends and mentor, I guess, in a way. And what's very cool about it for me is that behind this little coat rack, there's a door with a tiny stairwell that goes upstairs, kind of like what he's talking about.
Oh my goodness, all of these secret spots.
I'm here to see Jello. You know what I mean? They're not going to just let you walk up, which I think is cool. So if you don't know him, you're not really going to go drink up there. And I think that's very cool for him as a bartender and as the bar itself.
I must be living my life wrong because I feel like I've never experienced this before. Okay.
All right, we got you.
Yes, thank you. This is why we brought you on today. Yeah. That's exactly why. So your second spot.
Yeah, definitely. It would be Lazy Point down in West Soho next to the Ear Inn, which is supposedly the oldest bar in New York. Mm-hmm. I want to say it is. There's a few debates. Yeah, there's a few debates. But that was my favorite bar, I think, to work at as a bartender, just because the vibe. It's a Montauk theme-inspired cocktail bar. He hired amazing DJs. Packed the place out. We made fun cocktails. People were dancing on the tables. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And Deena, what about you?
So for me, I like a neighborhood vibe type of bar, but very thoughtful menu. So incorporating lots of fresh ingredients, seasonal changes with the menu. It just makes you feel really special and not pretentious, not too high priced, but just an atmosphere where you can go and get really, really amazing cocktails and food as well. So for me, Goodnight Sundays was always a classic. It was just where I always went before and after I had to go to work, or I lived in the East Village for a long time, so it was just my go-to bar. It's somewhere where you can go several times a week and not feel like you're overdoing it.
Okay, as long as I'm welcome, that's all that matters, because I go to bars several times
and they serve until 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's not
really.
Yeah. And then another place is a new bar. It's Casa Nomad. So it's run by a bunch of chefs, and their focus is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but seasonal bowls, lots of healthy ingredients, lots of superfoods. But they also do like custom menus based on their clientele. So it's like the soup of the day is always by request. So they ask their customers, what's your favorite soup? And they come in. So now that they've added the bar side of things, we're going to continue to see that with their bar program as well.
Awesome. I wish I had a notepad. I'll just write all this down because this is great. I'm in the Jersey area, so I have no idea. I know like we did this for the audience, but I kind of booked you guys for me. You know, like I wanted you guys to tell me exactly where I should go when I'm in New York. So what do you love exactly about your profession? I know all of you guys are in the drink business, in the alcohol beverage business. What do you love about it? Deena, we can start with you.
I mean, just the atmosphere. I mean, everybody is sitting in an office all day long, and then they come to you for their outlet and their fun, and to relieve their stress. And that's where you live. You know, you live in that atmosphere. It can be hard. It's definitely hard on the body, the hours, the fact that you're always around alcohol. It's definitely hard on the body, but it's all worth it at the end, as long as you know how to manage and balance.
What about you, Yancy?
Definitely like piggybacking on that, it's the people for sure. I love that people come and they expect a lot from me, but at the same time, it's never too much for me to handle, I don't think. And I guess the art and the craft of making cocktails for people and being able to judge what somebody wants just based on asking them. You know, it's okay. If you don't like something on this menu, I will make you something, and I promise you're going to love it.
Wow.
You know, that's it for me. And like you said, they want to have a good time after they get out of work, whether it be bartenders or people working 9 to 5s. You know, it's just a loving atmosphere. Couldn't have said that better.
All right, Andy, what's your favorite thing about being a bartender?
It's gonna be like the first one is that you can drink, you know, like you're having fun every day.
Yeah.
You drink with the customers, with your coworkers.
It's just an all-around fun time.
Yeah. You have to though. You have to have a good time and at the same time to deliver a good time on the bar. And the second point is because everyone on this planet you can find a job like a bartender though, like everywhere though, and it's give a lot of opportunities to travel at the same time with this kind.
Right,
of,
right. So have you all traveled with your bartending profession?
Definitely,
Really?
Yeah. I just got back from Vegas and Miami, bartending both those places in like 1 week. That was a lot of fun. But like that's a great example of what we could do, you know.
Wow, I think you guys have like, what am I doing here? I need to change my professions now. I think this is where I need to. This is where I am. You guys have come, you've changed my life around, and now I'm going to be Zayna, the bartender.
We will train you.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
I need it. So tell us, what cocktails are best for the spring, summer? You know, spring and summer is coming up. You know, the temperature is starting to rise. Clothes are coming a little less. So what's the best drinks to accompany that?
Well, generally speaking, sours are always a good way to go in the summer. It's just very refreshing to have a citrus element to anything. You can make a whiskey sour, vodka sour, margaritas, mezcal, tequila. Lighter spirits are generally what's drank, but I don't think that that's necessarily a rule. But yeah, lots of floral notes are coming into play, so I think that we're going to see a lot of that during the summer as well.
Cool. And Yancy, you have a sour.
I do.
And I like sours too.
Yeah.
So
Like,
what do you think would be some good spring, summer drinks?
for me, and I guess when I'm doing cocktails for restaurants or bars, I like to push a white Negroni. I like to get everybody off this Aperol Spritz train. That's been done. It's old. Stop drinking it.
Okay.
And I guess I personally like rhubarb and strawberry and passion fruit. So if I could make like a really fun gimlet with those 3 flavors, or again a sour, you know, that'd be awesome. I would definitely push those 2 avenues of cocktailing.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, cool. And Andy, what about you? What are the best drinks that you think would be good for spring?
In my opinion, I think that it's not about the season. It's about the mood. It's about the people that you're surrounded with. So any kind of cocktail, like actually, as long as you hydrate yourself, like as much you can, you can do whatever you want.
All right. Water is the key, right?
I like that.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. As I said, you guys have changed my life around, so I don't know how much longer Bold will have me. So, yes, thank you all for coming. So our correspondent, Oni Higgins, had a chance to sit down with Lauren Makk. She's the judge of Disney Plus's Shop Class. Let's take a look.
Well, Lauren, thank you for joining us today. Just talk to me a little bit about the shop class. What is it? And tell some of our viewers who might not know.
Oh, Shop Class is a wonderful new show for the Disney Plus streaming service. It's so near and dear to my heart because I am a young maker. I grew up in Oklahoma in the 80s and 90s when we didn't really have access to a lot of things, and DIY was a really big part of my life. At the time, there was no term coined for it. It wasn't DIY, it was just making. And so this show is really great because it really pays homage to that. It's a maker show. It's where the kids are allowed to really immerse themselves in their imagination, utilize their hands. So it brings back that nostalgia of making things, which is so cool. So it's kind of a mashup between crafts, DIY, carpentry, all of those building, all of those things where you get to use your imagination and your hands. So it's the perfect show. So no matter if you're 9 or 199, you get the opportunity to really immerse yourself in that imagination and creating space.
Nice. I guess, so what's your favorite DIY project right now? Or that you've done?
Favorite DIY?
Yeah.
I couldn't narrow it down. It's like picking my favorite kid. DIY is such a great experience for me. I love every aspect of it, whether it's creating furniture or fashion or decor for my home. I'm an interior designer by trade, so of course I have a penchant for decor. But any opportunity I get to make something and create something with my hands it's so awesome to me. And what I love about DIY is making mistakes, to be honest with you. That's one of my favorite parts about it because I actually learn how to do something better.
Right, and you can add your own little twist on it once the mistake happens.
Yes, exactly, exactly, yes. There's nothing a little hot glue and spray paint can't cover up.
So talk to me about your career in interior design.
Sure. So, ironically, I kind of go back to that my olden days where, I grew up in the country. So my mom sewed all of our clothes. She made all of our, Christmas decorations and house decor and stuff like that. And so I remember just being in the kitchen with her, watching her, make Easter stuff and making like arrangements for our tables and going outside in the backyard and picking flowers and making floral arrangements. We didn't have like local stores where I was from, so creating is kind of my thing. So as a young kid, I recall that, and I don't remember there being like someone I could see on television that did that until I remember watching Designing Women. Do y'all remember Designing Women? That show? Okay, well that was my passion because I saw Julia Sugarbaker, this southern sassy woman, as an interior designer, and I thought, oh, that's what I should do. That was my passion, and I've always loved, like moving pillows around or fluffing the bed, and I was the kid who would like make the bed really good, and so for me, that's where it came from, and it's just a natural talent that I didn't even know actually could become a career until I saw it on TV. So representation matters.
Yep, that's it. So what motivated you to become a part of the show?
Well, the opportunity posed itself, and of course I had to take it. It's Disney.
That's right.
I couldn't pass that up. But also, I love being able to give back to the kids. And again, I was a young girl. I didn't see a lot of that on television. So when I was able to have this opportunity afforded to me, I had to take it because I wanted to see this when I was growing up. And so now that our show has come to fruition, it's such an awesome experience. The team and we scoured the entire United States and found the best makers and shop class teachers. And to put these kids together, to watch them, take the same 3 or 4 materials and turn it into something so different so many different times over is so inspiring. And that's why I just had to get on this show. It's awesome.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
It's
so
fun.
One last question.
Okay.
What, spring is around the corner.
Yes.
What are some things that with people taking out of their closet and spring cleaning, what are some things that people might want to keep, or do you have any advice?
Sure. Well, I'm all about the season changing. For me in my home, I want to keep what's around that I need and, kind of transition out from one season to the next. So my biggest tip, I guess, for spring cleaning would be not to get rid of anything, but just take all your winter stuff that you're not wearing out, put it in a box, use your vacuum bags and put it away. But bring out the things that you need again. So like maybe it's your spring decor or your winter wardrobe. It's time to try to change that out. One of the greatest things I love about design is that it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money to live well. So if it means taking out your Christmas throws and putting out your springtime throws on your sofas or your pillows or whatever, just a refresh or even reusing of the stuff that you had last season is always a great way to do that. Pops of color, you know what I mean? Just take out your rugs and dust them off because you got your winter boots all over them all over the season. Those are really great ways to freshen up your space, and it doesn't cost you any money.
Well, definitely some great advice. Thank you so much for joining us.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
Next up is our health and wellness segment brought to you by Vitae Vitamin T. Rethink what you drink. Today we have a very special guest joining us via Skype. He is here to tell us more about his work and his new documentary. This is the celebrity plastic surgeon, Dr. Miami. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So look, Dr. Miami, personally, I have been following you on Snapchat for a while, all right? And I have seen you grow online. So to what do you owe that growth to?
Pure dumb luck, basically. I had no idea that so many people wanted to watch butt lifts and breast augmentations and tummy tucks. We went and threw it out on Snapchat, and, literally millions of people started following and watching us. And it just grew from there. Instagram, TikTok now. And yeah, it wasn't like a great master plan. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I've learned so much watching your Snapchats. I know, I wouldn't say I know how to do a BBL, but I've learned a little about BBL, Lipo 360, mommy makeovers. I'm pretty well versed.
If you watch my Snapchat every day after about 6 months, you could probably do most of it. I bet you would.
Yeah. So you started your own practice in 2003, and at that time, did you ever think that you would be mentioned in hip hop songs and visited by some of the biggest celebrities?
No, I was like this nerdy kid that was practically a shut-in. I had no idea that this was in my future. It's really when I say dumb luck, I really mean dumb luck. But look, it's blessed. There's no way I could have predicted or foreseen it or anybody else. When I went into my practice, Brazilian butt lifting wasn't even like a thing yet.
Really?
It's just I happened to be at the right place at the right time. Miami is where that operation blew up, so to speak. And I just was doing my own thing every day in, day out, one butt at a time for 10, 15 years before the social media stuff took over. And so, yeah, I had no idea it was going to happen. No, I mean, social media didn't even exist when I opened my practice. So, yeah, it's all a big surprise, a big pleasant surprise.
How did you get started then? If, it wasn't really a thing in 2003 when you first started, how did you get started doing?
It was just word of mouth. It was just, hey, there's this cool operation called the butt lift. Try it. And one girl told another girl, told two or three friends.
And then, here you are.
Before the social media even started, I was just doing a lot of, celebrities and wives and girlfriends of celebrities and whatever. And then around 2014 is when it really started to explode. I got onto Instagram, got thrown off of Instagram, started Snapchat, blew up on Snapchat, TV show, TikTok, everything, came from there.
Wow. So you've had quite the life that you've had. So you are in a new full-length documentary. They call me Mr. Doctor. They call me Mr. Doctor. Yes, they call you Mr. Doctor. They call me Dr. Miami. So we do see a little bit more of you. Do we see more of the personal side of Dr. Miami?
You do. You see the split, the two worlds. Most people have a work persona and a home persona, and they're kind of different. Obviously, I've got 5 kids. I'm married for 25 years, thank God.
Congrats.
So obviously, the Dr. Miami you see on social media is kind of like my personality turned all the way up to number 11. I can't be like that at home with 5 kids. That wouldn't be right either. So now in the documentary, you kind of see how I combine that and the work-life balance and all that kind of thing. And also looks at, the rise of social media and plastic surgery and how we're all kind of in each other's business now. We're all kind of looking at each other. And people are really into visual media. And it's an interesting mix of information in that documentary. By the way, it's not my movie. It's not like I went out and made this movie. A great director. His name is Jean-Simon Chartier from Canada. He just approached me a couple of years ago and said, "Hey, do you mind if I make a documentary about you?" I said, "Well, what's it going to cost me?" He said, "Nothing." I said, "Knock yourself out."
Well, hey, might as well.
Yeah, go for it, whatever. So now it's about 2-3 years later after that process. The movie is I think it's really good. I won't say it's the best documentary ever, but it probably is. I'm kidding. It's good though. It's entertaining. If you have an hour and 17 minutes and you want to learn more about plastic surgery and me, it's a cool way to do it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned your children a little bit. So now that they're growing up a little bit more, how do they feel about your line of work?
It's changed over the years. So like the social media started, blew up like around 5 years ago when my daughter was 15. My oldest daughter was 15.
Uh-huh.
And she went through a phase where she thought it was cool, and then she went through a phase where she thought it was so cringy.
Really?
That her was just like, social media star. She like went off of social media completely.
Wow.
My younger boys, I have a 17, 15, 14, and 11. The younger ones that are kind of into TikTok and stuff, they think it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
The middle older ones still think it's kind of cringy that their dad gets stopped in airports, to have his picture taken with kids. So that's weird for
I
them.
think it's pretty cool,
Like I don't know how I would think. I remember being a teenager, and like anything that anybody over the age of 30 did was just like so, So I kind of get where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But it does impact our home life to some degree when we go out and stuff. So they have to deal with that.
Okay.
I got 5 kids. They each reacted a little differently.
Yeah.
So.
As I'm sure. So, Dr. Miami, I have a little bone to pick with you.
Sure.
I have noticed that you have not been doing as many surgeries on Snapchat lately. We miss you. What's going on? Will you and the team be back soon?
No. Okay, so I would say that first of all, give me a little bit of a break because for the last 2 weeks, I've been away because my daughter got married.
Uh-huh.
So
Congrats.
I'm out of the country, and we're just kind of like family time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have stopped working on Fridays for the last 2 years, so you only get 4 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
And part of it is that people, not every patient wants to be on Snapchat now because they know so many people are watching.
Mm-hmm.
And they're afraid that like their ex is going to see it, or somebody at work's going to see it and somehow recognize their butt. So it's become a little bit more challenging to get people to want to be on Snapchat. But I still try to do it as much as I can, at least 3 days a week. You can see some butt lifts and mommy makeovers and whatever. So don't worry, I won't disappoint you. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. I was a little heartbroken. I love you and the team. I love watching it. I don't know. It's something so pleasing about it, about watching you stuff the women with fat. It's just
suck out the fat and make the butt.
It's
and make
great.
The suck the tummy. It's gratifying. I know.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So I'm looking forward to seeing you back on Snapchat. I'm looking forward to watching your documentary. Dr. Miami, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that is the end of today's show. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Get our Amazon Fire TV app. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And stay tuned for more Bold Life in 2 weeks. See ya.